What's up? What's up? How's everybody doing this Sunday afternoon? Looks like I'm competing with some football games. That's okay. I just had some free time this afternoon. Thought I'd hang out with you guys. Always a fun time. Hey, Proud Monkey. Hey, Bob Top Dollar. Yeah, you're not missing out. Who else we got in here? Hey, Ryan. Good to see you, man. Hey, I sent you a private message on Discord. I don't know if you saw it or not, but go check it out. And Lost in Carolina, good to see you guys. Hope you guys are doing well out there. Have you hit the 3 double diamonds again yet? I still remember that. Hey, silly you, good to see you. You did not play top dollar last night. Amanda, she's on time. I can't believe it. Samurai D Jin. Hopefully I said that right. Good to see you. And Paul's in the house. Hey, Paul Wooten. And Liz is in the house. Raymond Salazar. Aloha. Aloha to you too. Club Mike V. So did you actually win on it? Didn't mean to click on that, but good to see you. Some Guy Gaming. Good to see you also. Germ. What's up, man? Let's see. Yeah, if you got any questions that we haven't answered on our Wednesday show, this is going to be way more laid back, so probably be able to get it answered here. So ask away. Ask away. Now, it's just me. Dave's on his way back today. He's doing his Tough Mudder this weekend, so he's going to be dead tired. I don't know how that guy hustles so much. He's crazy, but he's good. Let's see. Hey, Adams Exploits, good to see you. Yeah, what's on everybody's mind? What you guys doing this afternoon? It's almost October. Yes, it is. In fact, guys, my 3 months is up on Tuesday, September 9th. That is a full 3 months. And I'm actually going to be in Vegas next weekend, but mostly for a work thing. So there's a big charity event out there that my owner of our company donates to, and they're having a gala out in Aria on Friday night, as well as a private concert. So he invited upper management to come out, and I was graciously invited to come out. So I'm going to go hang out with him. But during the day on Saturday, I'll probably go live because it's going to be my first bet in 3 months, guys. And I'm only bringing $200 this trip. That's it. So I'm going to do the $200 for the live show, and that's it. And let's see what happens. But you guys will get to tag along with me while I make my first bet in a long, long time. Should be a lot of fun. I'm definitely looking forward to it. Watching the tennis final. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. That is today. Trying to talk the wife into getting that Tabasco machine. I hear you, man. I don't get these in very often, so talk fast. There's been a couple people that have reached out to us asking about it, but nobody's put deposit down or anything yet. So Dolphins are horrible today. Oh, sorry to hear that, Crystal. I'm not much into pro football. I like college ball. I just feel like the game is a little bit more pure, although now they're getting paid, so there you go. And I'm just starting some questions here. I'm just going to say hi to everybody, then I'll do some questions. We're just going to have a hangout. Wow, Lost in Carolina. It says, after 15 years absence, we are returning to Vegas to see you. Oh, that's so awesome. I'm so glad you guys are coming. I still remember doing the audit with you guys long, long time ago. It'll be so nice to meet you in person. That's going to be fun. Let's see. Crystal said, I took $300 on Friday. It did well on Buffalo. Oh, okay. Hey, Majestic Slots. Good to see you in here, buddy. Yeah, Brian, I heard that. That's awesome. Yeah, Jason's pretty cool. Keep the questions coming, guys. I'm starring them up as I see them. Yeah, good buddy Will in the house. We're going to try to do a video or something together on Saturday while I'm there. That's going to be a lot of fun. I'm glad he's out there. I won't be out there long, guys. Like I said, it's going to be for a work trip, and they're going to have me tied up with stuff, which is the main reason I'm there. Since I'm there, I might as well get a video or two in for you guys. All right, let's see what we got. Lockwood Larson says, hey, Mark, any suggestions on a casino in Phoenix? I have none, unfortunately, because I've never played at any of the ones in Phoenix or in Arizona, for that matter, that I remember. So I really don't have a recommendation. If any of you guys have a recommendation of a good Phoenix casino, put it in the chat for Lockwood Larson. And Slots Oklahoma says, hey, Mark, if you tried to join my live and couldn't, I apologize. I was at private for the first half. I did not realize it. Man, that's happened to us a lot of times. So no worries at all, man. Just let us know in the Discord chat next time you're going live, and I'll try to catch it. Just depends on if I'm busy at the moment, but I always try to catch you guys. Let's see. And Loic H says, do you have more chance to win on a multiple line bet, $1, one line, $5, 5 lines? So I think I understand your question. So it's all going to balance out in the end. But the reason I like playing 5 lines more than a single line is that you just get more action. Like, you're going to get more line hits. You may not get outstanding results because you're betting 5, right? You got to cover 5 lines. But I like the action. I like getting more action, where single pay line can be a lot of dead spins all the time. You're just hoping for that nice, single line hit. So it's not really a better chance to win with 5 lines, because you got to remember you're betting more, right? You're just covering more lines. But if I had the choice, I would always pick the 5 line over the single line, just because it makes it feel like it's a little bit more active. And Proud Monkey says, the subject keeps coming up. Explain, how can a slot be random if it has a payback percentage? Man, I'm exhausted with explaining that one, but I'll say it again real quick. So the difference between there's a random component to a slot machine, and then there's a control component to a slot machine. The randomness is in the RNG is not knowing what's going to come next. I mean, nobody knows. Nobody knows how to predict that. Casino, the manufacturer, you, the player, slot techs, slot attendants walking by, they don't know what's going to happen when you press the spin button. And that's the random aspect. But the control is that RNG, that randomness, has to pick from a certain set of symbols. And those symbols represent all of the probabilities that have been built into that game. So there's a certain probability of hitting 1 cherry. There's a certain probability of hitting mixed bars. There's a certain probability of hitting 3 7s on the old school games. And all of those probabilities play out every time you hit the spin button, each individual one. And so, again, the randomness is just, you don't know what's going to happen on the next spin, but it has to be one of those options. Think of the deck of cards example that I've used. That's a good way to kind of break it down so you guys understand it. 52 cards in a deck, the odds of pulling out an ace of spades is 1 in 52, right? But if you shuffled that deck and pulled out a card, that would be random, right? That's not something that is being weighted or controlled or anything like that. You don't know what you're going to pick out. You may pick out the ace of spades on the first pick. But the overall odds, the average of picking that is 1 in 52, because there's 52 unique cards in that deck. And so over time, the more often you shuffle and pick out a card and shuffle and pick out a card, the more often you do that, if you had nothing to do in your life and you wanted to do that thousands of times, the average would start to get closer and closer to 1 in 52. But in the short term, it could be all over the place. All right, let me take a break from the questions to queue up some more. Bob Top Dollar, when do you be there? 9:15 to 9:20. Let's see. So, yeah, I'm going to miss you, man. I'm coming in on the 12th, but I'm going to be tied up all day on the 12th. That's the event. And then the 13th, I'll be out on the floor somewhere probably, and then coming back the 14th. So sorry, man, I'm going to miss you. And Ed Weeby says a machine can't pay out more than it takes in. Over time, that's 100% accurate. Over time, long period of time, lots of spins, that machine will certainly take in more money than it gives out. But in the short term, anything can happen. That's why we play it. That's why we play slots. If it was like that every single time we played, we always lost. Nobody would ever play them, right? But in the short term, anything can happen. And Slotman says, Mark, on a home IGT S2000, do you ever oil the motor on the reels? Number 3 makes a ping when it stops at a particular spot. No, I've never had to do that, honestly, because I have a plethora of parts. Like I have so many extra spare S2000 reels that I end up just swapping it out. It's not worth the headaches for me to try to figure out what's going on. But you could possibly try oiling it. Maybe some silicone spray. That's typically what I like to use. Just don't go crazy on it. You don't want to soak it. You just want to kind of grease it a little bit. Let's see. Kestrel, yeah. This is a jab at Bob Top Dollar. Can you adjust the background shot so we have nothing but Top Dollar? Yeah. Yeah. And Ed Weeby also asked, do machines operated on an island or in a group? So class 3 machines, this is like what you see behind me, like not bingo style or anything like that. It's you versus the RNG in that machine. They're not on a centralized server that's determining outcomes and stuff like that. But machines can be grouped with progressives. So you may see a bank of machines that all share the same progressives, but they're not sharing the same gameplay, if that makes sense. So they're not kind of in an island in that sense. Let's see what else. Gosh, I can't wait to see you guys in a couple weeks. I guess we're like 4 weeks to go, 30 days, 29 days, something like that. And Ed's coming in with a lot of good questions. You can't tell me slots don't know the wager. Well, they know the number of credits bet, and they know the denomination that you bet on. That's what they know, and that's it. It doesn't use anything else to determine the outcomes, based on how much credits you have in the machine, stuff like that. But it does know how much you play. All right, good stuff in here, guys. And Melanie Fogel says, would you admit that they have ruined slot bonuses by making bonuses smaller and less frequent? This is ebb and flow, and you also got to pay attention to the game you're playing, because you can't really make that statement for all games. All games are not created equal. Some that is certainly the case, and usually that's a high volatility game when you have frequent, infrequent bonuses, and then when you finally get it, the range of pay that you could get on that bonus is huge, right? You could get nothing at all, or you can get a gigantic hand pay. That's the volatility built into the game, and I will admit that a lot of them are leaning towards that more than ever, but there's always going to be a mix, and you have to kind of look and understand the volatility of the game, watch other people play it, especially like on YouTube and long formats. Watch people play it for a while, see what they do, and that way you can get a kind of a good guess on the volatility of the game. So let's see. And Dano says, does the horse racing machine in Vegas have an RNG determine the outcome when the race starts? Yes, it does. Yeah, that's what is it at the D? I think on the second floor of the D, they still have one. They used to have one at MGM Grand a long time ago too. But yeah, RNG is determining the outcome of that. Absolutely. Yeah, Vegas slot couple. I still remember you guys from a long, long time ago, back with Cowboy slots. I'm still sad to hear about your loss, of course, but I remember you getting the 3 triple diamonds. You got it in your screenshot there. You won the wide area progressive, the MGM progressive, which is freaking awesome. I can see why that would forever be your favorite game. Let's see. Lots of good questions, guys. Keep them coming in. It's just me, so I'm kind of just scrolling through and saying hi and all that kind of stuff. Emerald Jackpot says, would you advise to diversify your play in a casino, slots, video poker, keno, and tables, or just stick to one or two types? That is completely up to you. Whatever you're feeling like playing. Remember, it's entertainment. So don't force yourself into playing something that you don't get any entertainment value out of. You're not there to chase wins, because that's a slippery slope, as we know. So if you like to bounce around, I'd say do it. There are times when Dave and I get tired of slots. Like, we've been playing them for a couple hours, and we're just like, you want to go play a table game? And we'll go over there and play blackjack or 3-card poker or roulette or something, just to kind of take a break from slot machines. So do it as entertainment, but not that there's some kind of strategy that you should use to, increase your win percentage or anything like that. Float around, learn the other games of the casino. I think it's a good thing. Just make sure you learn it before you start placing wagers, though. That's always important. Let's see. Jason has a good question. How are the reels adjusted so that the machine knows where they are? So let me I have a reel strip over here. I'll show you. All right, so every reel strip has a starting notch. I don't know if you can see it in the camera there. You see that little notch? And that matches a notch on the actual reel. You're not going to be able to see it on this reel, but there is a notch inside one of these grooves where the reel strip fits in. And so it's basically the starting position. So you find that notch. This is how you put the reels on correctly. And as long as you do that, then the reel will go on and it will know what position 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, etc., all the way to 22. And so that's how it knows exactly where it is. So if you don't put it in, if you don't put the reel strip in and that notch, it's certainly going to show the wrong reels. And I've seen that happen before in casinos where they didn't install the reel correctly. But usually it's because they put the wrong reel strip in the wrong reel, and that causes problems. I actually had a machine come through here once that was set up like that. I was like, it's been paying the wrong thing forever. Nobody noticed. It's crazy. Let's see. And Kim Slot Sleuth says, is it better to bet high denomination with more credits or lower denomination with less credits? Are you asking the opposite? Is it better to bet high denomination with fewer credits than lower denomination, higher credits? That's usually what people are asking. The difference is so small that it doesn't really matter. But in the long run, you would want to bet the higher denomination with a fewer amount of credits, as long as the number of credits that you're betting will cover all available features of the game: bonus rounds, progressives, grand progressive, all that kind of stuff. As long as you can do that, then go with the highest denomination but the lower bet. But please resist the urge to start betting higher, because now you have all these additional credit values available to you because you're betting on the lowest, right? Just be careful with that. And Richard says, we need to do a meetup at Durant Sky Casino. Where's that one at? I'm assuming Oklahoma, but let me know where it is. Let's see. And Bob Top Dollar is right. Diversification is what makes it fun. I'm a table games guy, primarily rotating. A rating is the table. My primary rating is on the tables. That means that he gets the most comps from his table play. But I love it all, except Top Dollar. we know you love it, man. Oh, God. Hey, George is in the house. Good to see you, George. Hey, Robin's in the house. What's good? I think minimum bet is really low. I think it's $5 or $10. I think it's $5. Downtown Grand has some of the lowest table game minimums. They have $3 blackjack there. The only weird thing about Downtown Grand is the tables are not 24/7. They shut down. I don't know when, because I haven't stayed up late enough, but I've been down there around like 10 a.m., 11 a.m. to get coffee, and they haven't been open yet. So I guess it just depends on the day and stuff like that. And Raymond says, you ever play the Blazing Sevens with the nudge? I don't like those games. There's too much teasing for me. It's just a little too obnoxious on the teasing. That's why I don't play those. I've seen people win some good money on them, but God, the teasing is just crazy on those games. Hey, Little Joe. Sorry, we're not playing video poker today. Let's see. All right, Dr. Toast says, and I think you're new in here. I haven't seen you before, so welcome. Is the outcome of a spin predetermined and the reels are designed to end up at that win amount, or does each reel have a unique probability and the machine uses combinations and uses probability? So it's the second way that you described. So what happens is whenever you press the spin button on a slot machine, it pulls a random number for each reel that is in that game. So if it's a 3-reel game like the ones I have behind me, there will be 3 RNG pulls whenever you press that spin button. It then associates that number with a virtual reel stop, which then associates it with a physical reel stop, which is what you actually see on the machine. But the moment that you do that, it picks those 3 numbers, and then it matches that with the virtual reel symbol that belongs to that number from the RNG, and then it evaluates. So at that point, it's like, okay, does this equate to a win at all? If not, then it's going to be a loss. If it does, how much is it? And it's based on that evaluation. So it doesn't do it ahead of time, if that makes sense. But it does do it very quick. In fact, all of that I just described happens before the reels even start spinning after you press the spin button. It's incredibly fast. But yeah, it does RNG pull, then it evaluates to see if it was a win or not. When are you guys making a trip over to Cherokee, North Carolina? I have no idea. That one may be a while. But we're up for going anywhere. Raymond says, I have to know if you win a jackpot on free play, will they try not to pay? Absolutely not. They're not allowed to do anything crazy like that. It doesn't matter if you win it on free play or not. They have to pay your jackpot. Unless there's some other reason why you can't get a jackpot. Like if it's, but it doesn't have anything to do with whether you're using free play or not. But if there's some malfunction, which is very rare, or if you have some reason why you can't get a jackpot hand pay, whether you're self-excluded or something tax related, who knows? Let's see. Jody sighting.
Huh?
Jody sighting.
That Dave?
No, I'm live at the moment.
You're live?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I don't have my phone.
You don't have your phone? Well, why not?
I left it in the house and I was working in the shop.
Oh, well, say hi.
Hey, everybody. I came in here for a reason and now I forgot.
Well, I can't help you with that part, unfortunately. Let's see. Mike 3D Pro says, crazy question for people to dream. I think we all have these dreams. Is the gaming commission always called for jackpots over 20,000? It really depends on the jurisdiction, what that amount is, but it is definitely something that happens. Usually it's like the bigger casinos, like in Vegas on the Strip, I think it's 100,000 or more. Gaming commission has to come out, but it really depends. It really depends on the jurisdiction and stuff like that. And they basically come out to make sure that nobody's been tampering with the machine. You know, we talk about the seal that the gaming commission puts on the machines. That's how they check to make sure nobody's been, messing with that stuff. Let's see. Oh, here's a good question. Mark, what game do you dislike the most at the casino and why? I'm going to have to say craps because I still don't understand the game. I know that sounds awful, but again, I refuse to play any game that I don't fully understand back to forward. And I really need to get on that. Dave's done a good job of explaining it to me, but I have to just start playing it more to get a good understanding of that. Let's see. My biggest win was $35,500. That was back when I was like Cowboy Slots on a double top dollar. That's back when I was playing crazy big. I don't do that anymore. That was what $100 spins. See you later, Julie. Sorry I missed you before you left. I'm just scrolling down here. Hello from Ontario. Let me try it again. Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Good to see you, Cooking with Rod. Thanks for being here. Oh, wow. On the top dollar on free play, I've hit $1,000 at Delta Downs. Oh, that's awesome. Part of the 1,000 Credits Club. Everybody's saying hi to Jody. That's awesome. I love this. Smith says, Mr. Smith, wife accidentally went to Choctaw. How does she accidentally go with your card? I'm just messing. It was playing when she hit 500, and I was thankful she didn't get a hand pay. Would they have denied her pay on a large win? You're talking about your. I thought you were talking about like your ATM card or something like that. No, especially if you're related, they're usually pretty understanding with that. But everyone's different. It really comes down to ultimately who pushes the button, not whose players' cards in the system. But when it comes to free play, it could get a little weird. But if you're of the same last name and stuff like that, they're usually a little bit more accommodating on it. But everyone's different, so you got to be careful. And Todd says, Todd Bergera, sorry. Do you have the same chances or RTP when using free play? Is there a slight disadvantage when using free play? No, absolutely not. That's not allowed. You have the machine itself, the logic portion of the machine, it doesn't care how the credits were added. Cash, ticket, bonus play, free play, whatever the case is, it doesn't know. It doesn't know that when it comes to the outcomes of the game. So you have all the same chances of using free play to win. Nothing changes there. And Kestrel, I do not love Huff and Puff. I love Huff and Puff. I just don't like playing it for real money. And Vegas Locket, it took a half hour to get mine to be paid. Yeah, because you're over 100,000, so that makes sense. It's definitely pretty common. 1999 Super Sticker from Paul Wooten. Thank you so much, man. Really appreciate it. Help me get through this alone here. Appreciate your generosity, man. Thank you. Yeah, Dave's at Tough Mudder. He's coming back today. So you're just scrolling through. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. Us being the first one that you contributed to. Really appreciate that, man. I mean it. You guys are always so generous. Jay says, what if my wife doesn't want to go to the casino but wants me to play with her free play? Check with the casino first. Call the player's desk, player's rewards, and ask them that scenario and say, is this okay? You don't want to be caught between, problems. And the problem is I can't make a blanket statement about every casino and their practices because they're all different. And you really have to read their terms of service to understand what it is that you can and can't do. So, I like this one. Alfredo Barrera says, Mark, what was the machine that became your nemesis on the Serenade of the Seas? That was the 88 Fortunes 3 rule. I love that game, but it did not love me on that trip. That's for damn sure. I had some good hits on it, but it drained me in the end. And Benifer says, hopefully I said that right. What do graveyard slot techs do? So this is when it's actually the most active for slot technicians is during the graveyard shift, because they don't want to really try to do active repairs when somebody's playing a machine, unless it's a hard tilt. A hard tilt meaning that it stops gameplay. Then they may actually come out and fix it, especially if there's a request put in. So if you ever show up at a casino and let's say it's one of your favorite games and they don't have any other ones and it's broken, go up there and ask and say, is it possible to get a slot tech to work on this one? Because I drove 2 hours to come play this and it's not there. I'd hate to go to another casino. You never know. They may try to fix it. But a lot of stuff happens overnight. Replacing buttons, batteries, refilling ticket printer paper, drop boxes, or drop, what's called not drop boxes, but drop, which is basically where they come and pull the cash boxes, the cash drop. They pull the cash boxes out, replace it with a new one that's empty, stuff like that. If you're ever up at like 3 or 4 in the morning in a casino, you'll see a lot of activity going on those machines with the staff. Let's see. Katie says Dave is going to drive about 3 blocks from Yamava on his way to the airport. Oh, okay, so he's pretty close. And Raymond says, your thoughts on the old and new Wheel of Fortune? The old, 100% the old. The new ones with the gold spin and all that stuff, they're all 10 credit bet nonsense, 7 or 10 credit. It's just too much to wager. I like the old school Wheel of Fortune 2 and 5 or single and 5 line. Those are my favorite always, but they're so hard to find. Downtown Vegas has some though. Let's see. And LEC says, my birthday is coming up next month. I'd love to be able to spend some reels with you and Dave like we did last year. Yeah, that was a lot of fun, Ellie. Fortunately, I don't think we're going to be at WinStar anytime soon. We're going to be too busy with our meetup and everything else. It may not be November or December before we're back up there. And Richard Cutshaw says, how do you decide when to walk away after a big win? I've won jackpots and get carried away with playing more. It's dangerous. You know, this is one of the hardest things to overcome. I'm serious, Richard, because it's something called adrenaline. And that adrenaline, whenever you hit something huge like that, is overpowering. It's very strong and it's very difficult to break. And this is one of the things that I've learned over the years is I used to not be that way. I would hit something big like that and immediately, even before the attendant comes, I would start playing the machine next to me because I know a bunch of cash is coming my way. But I've learned over the years not to do that. And something that Dave and I do now, especially, is if we do get a hand pay, we sit there and do nothing, check our phone, do stuff like that until we get paid. And then I immediately do one of two things. I go back up to my room and chill out, or I go start playing penny machines or something where it's like $2 a bet just to kind of cool off. Because it's really hard after a big hit like that, when the adrenaline's running, to get up and walk away. And believe me, everything that the casino does is designed for you not to walk away. The time it takes for them to come back with your hand pay, they're not walking fast. Drink service usually. Have you ever noticed you hit a hand pay and the drink service immediately is on you? Why do you think that is? Because now you got to wait for your drink, right? And then not only that, but the temptation of money coming your way and knowing that it's coming is very strong because you're like, well, I'm still going to have money to play with because I've got this hand pay coming. So I might as well just finish off the rest of this and, just keep playing. But guys, that's the wrong move. If you ever hit a hand pay or something big, like a big hit, you have to stop. You have to stop and reset yourself because that adrenaline is so powerful. And that's one of the things that I've learned. And I don't want you guys to make that same mistake. So the next time you hit something big, sit there and shut up and wait till your money comes. And as soon as your money comes, get the hell out of there. Do something else. Or if you want to continue to play because friends and stuff are there, tell them, hey, well, let's go play some penny machines because, man, that was a crazy hit. I want to make sure I take some of it back. Oh, Slotaholic in the house. Good to see you guys. Good afternoon. Well, I'll be seeing you this year at G2E. Yeah, we're going to be there all week, buddy. So I am sure we will run into you. And if you want to stop by Downtown Grand on Sunday night, that's when we're doing our get-together for fans and stuff. We would love to see you there. Maybe we can do a video. That'd be fun. Good to see you in here. B. Martini Slot said, I'm really missing the old school Wheel of Fortunes. They're disappearing. Yes, they are. You have to really kind of scrape to find them. Mohegan Sun has a ton of them. That's why I can't wait to get back out there because it's real nice. Let's see. Just scrolling through here. Bird asks, not sure if this has been asked because I just came in. What's the fastest and cheapest way to earn points to reach the next card level? Best machines for that. So in general, you need to play the lower volatility machines. Don't play the Huff and Puffs and those style games. The ones with the firecrackers, the pigs, and all that kind of stuff. Like if you play those, it's likely that you're going to lose your money faster than you're going to earn your comps because you don't get a lot of kickbacks, right? You don't get a lot of small hits along the way. With the low volatility games, you could typically have more coin in because that's what you're after. Is in order to get the next point, enough points to reach the next card level, you have to earn those points off of coin in, which is how much you're putting through the machine. And the only way you're going to do that is if you can play longer. And so the lower volatilities games are pretty good at that. Depending on your casino, look for like double diamond, red, white, and blue, sevens, sizzling sevens, blazing sevens. I'm trying to think of some others. Haywire Deluxe, Double Diamond Deluxe, Triple Diamond, Triple Stars, those style games. That's probably the best way to kind of prolong getting it. But I will give you a word of caution. Do not ever chase getting points to the next card level. It's a trap that gets you to play more and more because of that. But if you're going to play anyway, try to play those games, especially if you're close. I think that's probably pretty smart. Jay, on the saga, I'm not involved in the saga. I'm here for the truth. I want to hear the truth of what's going on. And I think that Jason, Mr. Hampay, put out some pretty incredible evidence listening to the phone call, but I don't want to get into like a he said, she said, who's a loser, who's not. Like, I'm not interested in all that. I really am not. But I do like anything that comes out from any influencer that presents transparency. And I think that's the key. And we've done a couple of videos on it. So if you're interested, in my opinion, go check those out. But I don't want to get into the drama of it. It's just it's not healthy, right? Guys, hang tight for just a second. I'm going to grab a drink. I'll be right back. Because we need more transparency in this space. Like, I think we all can agree to that. We need to know what's going on, especially if it's an advertisement or manipulation. I think that's something that we should all be very upfront and honest with each other about. And so I'm on the side of that. What do you guys think? Raymond says, what's the newest top dollar grand? Technically, the newest one is they brought out the old 5 real 9 line again in the new cabinet. But as for a new unique top dollar grand is the newest. And but unfortunately, it's disappearing. Like, people just aren't, casinos are already like converting them to other stuff. So. Yeah, I hear you, Bird. Just make sure that you don't chase it. Don't ever chase comps, guys, because it's such a small percentage of what you're getting back compared to how much you're wagering, and it's a trap. It's even worse once you get a host, because then they start, well, when are you coming back? Are you coming back? I can get a nice suite for you. I'll give you some extra food credit. It's all a ploy to get you to come in and play more, and you got to be aware of that. Try not to chase comps. And Richard says, top dollar grand, your thoughts? Seems like a hard game. It's actually not a hard game compared to the other top dollars that are out right now. I think they've done a really good job of helping it feel balanced, meaning it feels like you're getting a good value for your money when you play. The volatility is not too crazy. But The problem is just not. It's hardly anywhere, and you have to bet 10 credits. We see so many people not betting 10 credits on it, and you're never going to get your return on that game if you don't bet the 10 credits to get the bonus, because it is required. And Jay Smith says, are triple diamond, double stars, and flaming triple sevens very different? Not very, but try to find the lower. There's two things to look for. What is the highest credit amount? And like here's the Tabasco, so the highest amount is 10,000. So that's way far away from your bet size, right? So that increases the volatility. But another thing that you could look at is the number of multipliers. So double is always going to be lower volatility than triple. Same thing for 4 times and 5 times and 7 times and 10 times pay and 12 times pay. You know, the more multipliers that are in there, the worse it gets. Let's see. Hey, Penny Pinchin, good to see you. And Gary Live says, Gun Lake Casino Players Card only gives players $5 a week. Yeah. Some casinos are just not, especially if they don't have competition around, they don't need to give anything because people are just going to come or they're not. So. And Sherry says, heck, I can't even get my host to answer my phone calls. He'll send me postcards, but not answer. Well, that's not a good host. I think you should fire him and find another one, which you can do, by the way. Did you guys know that? If you don't like your host, you can request for another one. They can't do that. Like, they can't move you to another host without your permission, but you can. If you don't like your host, call up the players desk and said, I want to be assigned a different host. Oh, Slotaholic. No worries, man. Be in Vegas Wednesday through Saturday morning, October 7th through 11th. Yeah, we'll be there. Yeah, we will definitely do a collab. I think that would be a lot of fun. Let's do it. Hoping to do a lot of collabs while we're there. Do me a favor and email me. You guys have our email address. Email me your phone number so I have it. I'll keep you kind of updated along the way where we're going to be at and stuff, and we'll sync up. Especially like when you're coming, things are going to be a lot calmer. Like we're going to be there the 4th through the 11th, or coming back that Saturday. The first 3 days are going to be hectic because of all the channel stuff that we're doing, but the rest of the week is going to be about us doing interviews and stuff. So we'll have some time there. This is a really good question, and I'm glad you brought this up, or more like a statement. Emerald Jackpot says, how do you feel about the apps with the free coins in terms of enhancing potential for addiction to gambling? I mean, this is one of the side effects of those, right? It really is. But I think it can also be looked at as a positive. One of the things that we've always recommended is if you feel like you got that itch, right? You want to go to the casino. Well, pull up those apps and play those apps. Even spending, $10 on a coin pack will last you, or should, if you're playing right, should last you the rest of the evening, if not the next day too. And that's certainly going to be a lot cheaper than going into a casino. No, of course you don't win anything off of that. But if you're having that itch and you feel like you're going to a casino, I think that this could be in some ways a good thing. But it also teaches bad habits and things like that. And you should be aware of that, going into those games. I actually have a trick, and they're not going to want me to say this on air, but I don't care. It's something I always do. Is I have an older iPad, right? And I've noticed that all of these like the casino apps, and I'm not going to name them by name, but they are all the different ones that you can download in the App Store and play, like the same games that you're playing in the casino, stuff like that. Top Dollars in there, Huff and Puff, all those. I found out that they give really good initial welcome bonuses, right? So usually when you first open the app and start playing as a guest, they give you like 5 million coins or 1 million coins or something. They give you a pretty healthy amount. But I figured out that if you just delete the app and reinstall it, it keeps your old data in there. So if you had the welcome bonus of 5 million coins and you played through that 5 million, you delete the app and install it again, you can't get them again. Like it's going to remember. But if you do a factory restore on your iPad and then download all those apps again, all your welcome bonuses are back. So it's really funny. I'll sit here and do this on my iPad. It's an older iPad that I don't really use. So I'll go through and download all the 6 or 7 apps that I like that have all the games I want to play, get all the welcome bonuses, and just play each one of them until I run out of money. And then I do a factory restore on the iPad. It takes like 10 minutes. And then I just keep doing that over and over again. I never have to buy any coins. So if you have an old iPad or find one, just do that. Never buy coins ever. That's why I don't think they want me to say that. But hey, man, it is what it is. And Kim Slot says, it should be real money playing on the same server as all the other players. A lot of these videos of massive bets are just not real or the truth. Now, some of them are, and we have to remember one thing, guys, that if you see somebody playing in a casino, like a land-based casino, there is nothing the casino can do to fix the odds on those slot machines. And I say that with 100% confidence. Because of the regulation that's in place, that it would be impossible for them to do such a thing. They can't set it to win. Even if they set it to the highest payback percentage, it guarantees nothing to any influencer or anybody that goes in there and plays those in a short term like that. But they probably do receive compensation in forms of free play and things like that. And that's all very normal because of the level of bets that they're playing. And I see no problem with that. Do I feel it should always be disclosed? Yeah, of course. But I think a lot of them are playing with their the comp money that they get already from playing the level that they do. And I think that's normal. What's not normal is online sweeps casinos, which are not regulated. So that allows bad actors to come into the picture, right? And one of the comments I read earlier today, somebody said, you know, this just proves that all online gaming is bad. And that's not true either. Not all, just because you have a few bad actors in a space doesn't mean they're all terrible and they're all doing the same thing. But without regulation, it should at least allow us to question it, or to at least say what is going on, you know? And so even though, you know, some of them have been uncovered for, you know, not playing with real money or on different servers that's not the same as what you would play, all that stuff is entirely legal. It may not be ethical, but it's entirely legal. And that's because the regulations don't prevent it with sweeps casinos specifically. But I do know there are good, legitimate sweeps casinos out there that don't do any of that funny business. And we don't want to, you know, poo-poo on them because of it. And it sucks because you have a couple of bad actors and it ruins it for the people that have spent time making sure everything is above board. And we've talked to some of these sweeps casinos. I mean, we'll never do a partnership with them, but we've had good conversations with them about how all this stuff works. And some of them take it very seriously. They go well above and beyond what the regulations call for. And so we got to be careful to say that all of them are bad, because it's not the case. But it should at least allow us to question it a little bit. And so that's why we try to focus on ones that do have the regulation, because at least we know for sure nothing's going on there, right? We don't have to prove it to ourselves. We will know that somebody else is watching it. And I think that's important. And it's okay. Like, I don't see any problem as long as it's disclosed. It needs to, because a lot of people have said with this whole thing, who cares? It's just entertainment. I agree. It is entertainment. But people are also looking for ways to make money. How do we know that? Guys, we've had the channel for 18, almost, wow, it's not 18 months anymore. It's like 20 months, 23 months. We've had the channel for almost 2 years. Let me just say that. We've had the channel for almost 2 years now. We've received hundreds of thousands of comments, hundreds of thousands of emails. Everybody, or lots of people asking us, how do I beat the slot machine? How can I go in and guarantee a win? How do I know that I'm always going to win when I go to the casino? And people are asking us this. Of course, we always tell them there's no guaranteed way. This is how it works, all that kind of stuff. But just the very fact that people are asking that tells us that people are generally gullible and will believe anything because they're desperate, They don't understand how this stuff works, and that translates into desperate measures where people will watch something like that and say, wow, he just placed a $100 bet and won $150,000. I can do that too. I got $300 in the account. Let me try it. And then it's a slippery slope after that, right? So, that's the part where I think it always needs to be disclosed. If you're not playing for real money, or you were compensated in any way, or if you were told to say something, if we ever do any kind of partnership or anything, and they say, you need to make sure you tell your audience this, even though you don't believe in it, we'll tear up the contract, because that's not what we're about. We'll never do that. We want to be communicative with you guys. We want to be transparent. And if we're getting paid to be there or to do something, you will know about it. We just want to hold ourselves to a higher standard. All right, let's move on. And Mac has a good question here. Can you explain the difference and importance between RTP and volatility? I'm new at slots. Very good question. So let me try to break it down in a way that's kind of easy to understand. So most games in the casino, based on denomination, will have the same roughly RTP setting. So let's just take 90% as an example. So a casino policy may be, for all of the dollar denomination machines, set it at 90%. For all of the $5 machines, set it at 92%, right? Penny machines are always the lowest, 83, 86%, something like that. Those are just example numbers, right? Pretty typical, pretty average. So you can have 3 machines, all dollar denomination, all set at 90%. But the way that they get to that 90% can be a much different path, right? Some will give you slow and steady wins, so it will feel more active, right? But in exchange of that, you're giving up the big progressives, the big potential bonus rounds, things like that. So that's a lower volatility game. Less risk, but less reward, right? Does that make sense? So you have a slow and steady like this. You bet 3, you get 15, you bet 3, you get 20 or 30, something like that. It's low and steady wins. Then you have the other side of the mechanism, which is the high volatility, which it could take hundreds of spins before you even get a bonus. And then when you finally get the bonus, it could pay 0 or it could pay a hand pay. It could be gigantic. High risk, high potential reward. But both of those machines are set at the same 90%, but the way they get there is going to be quite different. So hopefully that explains the difference between RTP and volatility. Volatility is something that you can feel and witness in the short term. A couple hundred spins, 1,000 spins, watch somebody play it for a couple of 10, 20 minutes. You'll get a feel for the game. How quickly is the bonus round coming out? When the bonus round hits, does it pay anything? Do the progressives ever go off after somebody's played 500 or 1,000 spins? That teaches you the volatility of the game, how the game was designed to pay out over time. But people get confused with RTP, thinking RTP is something that you can feel within 500 and 1,000 spins. And I would always argue that you can't do that. And we've done videos in the past kind of proving this, doing 300-400 spins on different denominations set at different payback percentages and seeing the crazy results, right? So hopefully that helps kind of break down the difference there. And I think you'll be on the road to success if you kind of understand that, know what to look at. There's nothing wrong with high volatility. Some people love it. Some people want to get it over with quickly. They want to go in with $300 and just try to go for the moon. Go for it. There's no problem with that. But just realize if you're playing a high volatility game, it's high probability chance that you will put the 300 in and you get nothing out of it. You won't even get a bonus round. And if that's okay with you, if you'd rather do that, go for it. No problem. But just know that's what to expect. And the side effect that I see from high volatility games is it leads people to chase more than they would on a low volatility game, because it's harder to give up. It's harder to say, I spent $300 on this machine and never got a buzzsaw bonus. I'm just going to keep playing until I get a buzzsaw bonus. The next thing you know, you're in the hole deep because you chased. And high volatility games are designed to do that. It's part of the psychology of them. So, but they're fun. I mean, we play them. You just got to limit yourself. And Emerald Jackpot says, thanks. I've been hesitant to try them because sometimes I like to take a break from it and keep my mind clear. Yeah, I guess you're referring to the online slots. If you are, I guess it applies to everything. But guys, I don't know. Try to do this the next time you're in a casino. Go in there and try to pay close attention to how you're feeling throughout the night, right? We don't want you to eliminate the fun that you're having, the entertainment value, but if you're going by yourself sometime and you want to do an experiment, try this. Go in there, and after you get a good win, see if you can tell the difference about how you're feeling after you got that big win. Do you feel the adrenaline starting to take over? Do you feel like, I need to go play another slot? I've always wanted to play this one. I don't know, I want to go in the high limit room. Do you start to feel that? If you start to feel that, say, you know what? Talk yourself out of it. Say, yeah, no way. I'm not going to let you do that. And get up and take a break. You will reset yourself. It takes a good 30 minutes up to an hour, sometimes even longer, depending on how fast your adrenaline is running, to come back to normalcy, where you can actually start to pay attention to your discipline tactics that you put in place. I'm telling you, when things get crazy, and this is what happened to me on the cruise ship, when things get crazy and you get that tunnel vision and you start just focusing on one slot and you start chasing and putting more and more money in, it's hard to break that cycle. And so what we want to do is teach you to recognize that as happening before you go off the deep end and walk away, right? And resetting yourself by taking those long breaks will make a huge difference in how you tackle it again. When I'm in Vegas this weekend, because I again, for those of you guys that are late coming in here, I've been on a 3-month hiatus where I haven't placed any bets whatsoever. I co-host a gambling channel, for crying out loud. It was kind of hard to do, and Dave's always at WinStar or all these different casinos that he's been to in the last 3 months. And I'm sitting at home saying, I wish I was there, but I know I shouldn't, because I want to take a break. I want to recoup. Because I lost $1,000 in 10 or 20 minutes, it wasn't the end of the world. I mean, we didn't go negative or anything, but it's like, I wasn't happy with myself that I did that. And so I'm like, I have to do something extreme this time. So I decided to take a 3-month break. And so I'm excited for this weekend, because it's my first chance to make a bet after the 3 months. And I'm going to be very slow and very cautious and take those breaks, because I know that's what I'm going to need to do so that I don't do that again. We are all human, guys. We're all going to make mistakes. Even you guys out there that are listening to us and try to put all these disciplined things in place. And you may walk around saying, I'm the most disciplined player ever. The slot machines will never get me. There will be a time, I guarantee you, there will be a time where certain variables are going to be aligned where you're going to slip up. It's just going to happen. We're human, right? We need to accept that we will make a mistake. But be open and honest with yourself and your friends about it. Say, I screwed up, so I'm not going to come out and play tonight, or whatever the case is. But we also have a gift as humans, and that is to learn from our mistakes. And if we continue to just make mistakes, we're not getting anywhere. And you should probably just quit gambling at that point. But if you learn from your mistakes and you put things in place to prevent them from happening again, then you can become a better human being and a better gambler, a more disciplined gambler. But you got to be honest with yourself. You got to be open. You got to be ready for those things, and you got to put something in place for those next times so that you don't slip up again. And I'm feeling really confident about it. Feeling really confident. Let's see. All right, let me get caught up here. Jay says, which one has Top Dollar and Pinball? I have SciPlay and Product Madness, but can't find. So Top Dollar Premium is on, what's it called? I got to look it up. It's called like Downtown Casino, I think it is. Has all the IGT games. Help me out, guys. Maybe it's not Downtown Casino. Oh, Double Down. Double Down Casino has Top Dollar Premium. Pinball, somebody had Pinball. I don't remember which one it is. But also, just in case you guys didn't know, as part of our membership, you actually get access to our online slots that have all those games. Here, I'll show you real quick. Which I think it's like $4.99 a month for our membership, just because we have to pay for this. But let's see. Let me do a screen share so you guys can see. And these all work on mobile too, although some have sound issues, I've noticed. Let's see, share screen slots and add to stage. All right, so we do have this, which has, I mean, God, there's so many games in here. But we kind of grouped like the IGT slots up here. So Mystery of the Lamp, Tiger the Dragon, yeah, Lobster Mania. There's your double top dollar. There's your pinball double gold. So you can just go in here. These are all free coins. So when you run out of money, you just hit refresh on your browser and go good. Yeah, wheel and sound, of course. But it's the same ones that you know. Just a digital of it. And then, of course, we got Light and Wonder slots in here. So your Huff and Puff Money Mansion, stuff like that, Wizard of Oz. And so these are just like demo games, essentially. But you can come in here and play these all you want. No limits. And that's just for the YouTube membership, $4.99 a month from us. And then you can play these games. All right, that's going to take a while to load, so I'll just stop sharing. But anyway, there you go. Katie, I think that only works if you're on an Android tablet, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't work on iOS. She did not. Is that true? That's awesome, man. I hope to see you there. We'll play Top Dollar together. Oh, man. And Raymond Miller says, I was playing Willy Wonka at the Four Queens last year. Someone came up to me and told me I had to stop playing because I had to work on the machine. Any reason why that would happen? Not typically. The only thing that they usually interrupt your gameplay on is if they need to do a cash drop, which is taking the cash box out and putting it in with an empty one. But usually they don't try to do maintenance on it unless it's not working. That's kind of an unusual circumstance. Do you have any idea what they did? Just curious. Let's see. Hey, thank you, Brian SD. Appreciate it. This channel is awesome to watch and listen to. I'm a senior, 64 years, and I've been playing slots for 25 years. Your knowledge and advice are outstanding. Kudos to you and also your partner. Yeah, that's my buddy Dave. Can't wait for him to get back. All right. Big shout out to our moderators, Susan in the house, Majestic, and then also Proud Monkey. Thank you guys for everything you do. All right, let's see. So what's everybody doing this Sunday afternoon? I know a lot of you guys are watching the games on TV instead of listening to my crap. Oh, man. Thank you, Rusty Bucket. Appreciate you. Yeah, triple double stars isn't terrible. I prefer just the triple stars, though. But it's a decent game. Bird said, another question. I had a terrible day the other day and lost 2K really fast. Asked the host for free play based on that. Gave me $125. Does that $125 affect the promotions for myself? Probably not, but you got to ask him. There's two types of comps. There's like pre-comps and post-comps. And you have to tell them to distinguish between the two. It's very rare that a casino host will give you post-comps, meaning after you've done your damage, then they give you a little bit more free play to play with during your current trip. That's a lot more rare. It happens, but it's not something that's often. So I would clarify that with them. For example, I have a comp stay for our G2E meetup at Park MGM. in October, and I'm coming in this weekend for work. And I said, hey, can you get me just a basic room and make sure it doesn't hit my comps? Like I don't want to ruin anything on that trip, right? So my host, you got to clarify that with them, because otherwise he would just book you your current offer, and then I could show up at G2E and not have anything, no free play, nothing. So I told him I just book a standard cheap ass room for me to do. So that's what we're end up doing. All right. And Fast Eddie says, when you're referring to penny machines, are referring to the new slots. They start at 1 cent, 2 cent, 5 cent. Yeah, all those. You can basically guarantee that the 1 cent to 10 cent denominations, depending on the casino, where it's at and all that, are usually between 83 on the low to maybe 88 on the high, even for dimes. That's just kind of the average. Kim says, if you bet $1 on a machine that also has 1 cent denom, is it still 80% RTP? I don't think there's any that are set at 80%. The lowest I've ever seen is around 83%. I've had a lot of games come through here. But the RTP settings are based off the denomination itself. So not what you're betting within that denomination, if that makes sense. So if you're playing on cent, then everything on that cent is under a certain RTP. But if you, on that same machine, you change to $1, then that will have a different RTP setting. See, pay to play slots. Hey, I have a question for you. If you get free play and you don't put a card in the machine, do they know it's your free play ticket? Yes, they do, because you would have had to visit a kiosk or the Players Club to generate that ticket, and it has a unique code on it, so they know that it's yours. Hey, Christina, I'm new to your channel this week, and I've really been enjoying it. Thanks for all the great content. Well, you're welcome, and thank you, everybody. We have a wonderful family here. Everybody, let's say welcome to Christina. Thanks for joining the Gamble Smart crew and family. Really happy to see you here. And Bayou Wannabe says, hey, Mark, I hear you discuss the term cabinets. I'm assuming you're talking about the actual machine. Yeah, the actual physical machine itself. That is the cabinet. You're right. And then there can be multiple games installed in that cabinet. Just talked about this a second ago, Super Jackpot. So my 3 months, I planned on doing 3 months, and I did extend it to October. But I'm actually going to be in Vegas this weekend, so I'm going to try to do a little bit. I'm bringing $200 cash. That's it. I'm going to see what happens. But I'll be doing a live stream probably of that. And Robin has been a member for 19 months, which is as long as we've ever had memberships. So thank you, Robin. Thank you to everybody else that has been a member for that long. Really do appreciate you. All right. Man, I'm getting behind here. Oh, yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, we created a private group. There's a bunch of us in there that are doing this challenge too, with varying success, but we're all being open and honest and no judgment zone. And it's been great. It's been great. We're always checking in with each other, and I think that's smart. We just have to be careful. All right. DP says, Mark, what is the volatility of Tabasco? I think it's kind of medium. It's not low. It's a tough game. It's actually not one I would recommend playing, especially if you're looking for a low volatility one. I say it was not a cash drop. They worked on the machine and then shut down for 2 days. When I asked why, they just looked at me. That's weird. there could have been some error with it that they needed to fix. The progressive wasn't working, something like that. They don't typically kick people off machines when you're actively playing and saying we need to shut it down or something. I'd have to know more about what was going on there. And AP Stevenson says, are Class 2 machines able to become home slot machines or not possible? Yeah, it's not possible. I mean, technically it's possible, but you'd have to get the Class 2 software and a server. You'd have to have at least 2 machines, things like that. I don't see that being feasible at all for us home users. TW, are you guys going to stop by the IGT booth of the show? Hopefully, if they let us in. Do you work there, man? I hope you do. Shoot us an email so I can look for you. We'll definitely say hi. I'll be in the booth Tuesday or Wednesday. If you work for IGT, that'd be awesome. We have some contacts there that always lets us in, so we're definitely looking forward to it. No, Stephen, I did not buy the Powerball ticket. I probably should have. Not us. It's awesome that somebody in Texas won it, though. Let's see. And Amanda's been a member for 18 months. Good to see that. And Michael says, Double Diamond Deluxe versus Triple Diamond. Say, no, Double Diamond Deluxe would be better. Just slightly. All right, guys, Susan coming in with 19. Everybody's doing their thing now. That's awesome. And thank you, Susan. And Susan was actually our number one subscriber and mod, of course. She's been around for the longest. So, and $2 super sticker. Thank you so much, 123 Dave. We appreciate you. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up there. Got some stuff I got to get done today, but gave you kind of a quick hour here. But thanks for hanging out. Really appreciate it. As always, we really do appreciate you guys and your subscriptions and likes and watching the videos and sharing with your friends, all that good stuff. We're getting close to 100,000, but man, the grind is here. We got 5,000 more to go. We'll see what happens. But it was good to see everybody today. Good luck out there. Be safe. And as always, gamble smart, gamble safe, and we'll talk to you later. See you guys.